I really thank you. Okay, citizens are encouraged to follow the COVID-19 safety measurements provided by the CDC guidelines. This meeting will be open to the public. However, meetings are available to watch on our YouTube channel. Want to do a call to order. Greetings to everyone. I would like at this time to ask everybody to stand for our prayer. Our Heavenly Father, thank you for everything that you do for us. We know without you, Lord, behind us that we would have nothing. Every day is a miracle in this world for all of us. We just praise you, Lord, for giving us life and just taking care of us. I pray, Lord God, that you'll continue to watch over the citizens of Bruceville-Eddy and that you'll protect our police force, our fire department, our city workers, our council members, because all we're doing is trying our best to take care of things. We're not always correct in what we do, but we sure give it a try, Lord. We ask for all these things in the precious name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Please continue to stand for our pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
You may have a seat. Okay, we'll have roll call at this time. Starting to my right, you have Councilman Griffin, Councilman Prater, Councilman Bass, me, the mayor, and to my left is Councilman Talbert and Councilman Wiggins. And in the back row, we have Officer Savannah, Officer Rowland, and our Chief of Police, Dorsey. And we have Jean here from our Water Department. And we have Pam Combs, our City Secretary / Administrator at this time. All right, citizens presentation. The City Council welcomes public comments at this point on items not specifically listed on the agenda. Speakers must sign up before the meeting begins. Speakers are limited to 5 minutes each. The council cannot respond to the matter not listed on the agenda until a further meeting. At this time, we have Andrew Perez. If you would come up to the speaker, sir. I think it's turned on. If not, you turn it towards the minus sign and it should light up. No, turn it towards the minus sign. Got it?
It works.
Okay, all right. Go ahead and say you're wanting to talk about your water meter.
Yes.
Okay.
I've had a water meter there forever, since my grandfather was born, or since he came to Bruceville to live. And I've been living there for almost 34 years, my whole life. And it was taken out, I guess. My brother was paying it, making little payments at a time. Then so I guess they removed it. I guess I don't know why, but so I'll try to just get it back on to see if I can just pay whatever is owed to have it, put on. But I have to wait to get one back, and I was just wondering, like, well, then I looked more into it, and I looked more into like other people around there saying that, well, there's a hole on it. I said, okay. So I waited a couple of years, and then still looking around. I'm getting a little group together, little like families out there that live towards like Ranch Crest and around closer to like the outskirts of Lorena, kind of by the baseball park. And I'm trying to get them, like, if I have to do it, like whatever I have to do, like volunteer for anything. I'm just trying to get my water meter back on. So I can pay for it. Really, that's about it.
Okay. Well, I understand, sir, and thank you for coming. We can't respond to you because this is your 5 minutes. We can't respond to you or anything like that. So we can just listen to you and see what you have to say. Can we ask him if he's talked to the city already?
I really couldn't understand what you said.
Okay, at one time, they had a water meter out there when his grandfather lived out there.
Where?
At 154 South
Agnes Wills.
Wills Road.
I know where you, yeah.
Okay. And then it was, the brother kept paying on it a little bit at a time, and then it finally got removed, if I'm saying this correctly. It finally got removed, and he wants to talk about what he needs to do to get it, another water meter put back out there.
Yeah.
Okay, so just where I understand you, there's no tap or nothing there now. I mean, everything's gone, right?
Everything's gone.
Is that right? Okay.
Tapping off.
It's tapping off.
Okay.
Because it's non-payments, that's what it was.
Yeah,
Okay.
But there's water there, that's all I tell you.
yes,
Plenty of water.
yeah. He just wanted to know what he would have to do to get this, so do we tell
Right.
him?
I mean, we can't comment on it.
We can't comment, we can.
I think you could get the facts.
Some meters there.
Ms. Pam, can you comment on that? Since we can't?
I
He
mean,
has called several times and we've explained it to him.
Okay.
okay. I
You
guess,
just have to keep calling up here and maybe ask to speak to somebody else, or and Ms. Pam again, and then maybe we can discuss it or something. Or it can be put on the agenda, and then you can talk about it. We can ask you questions and we can answer. But during this type of thing, we cannot give you any solution. We can't tell you what we think or what could be done, because this is just your time of telling
How
us.
would I get that placed on the agenda?
You would call Miss Pam and tell her you'd like to be on next month's agenda.
There's a form out in the lobby.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says for agenda, and that'll be for next month, the fourth Thursday of every month, we have a agenda.
Thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you.
God bless.
Okay, my next person that wants to speak is Andrew Perez.
He just spoke.
Oh, that was him.
Yeah.
I put away the wrong paper. It's been a long day, people. It really has. Charles Burleson, am I saying that correctly? All right, if you'll come up, sir.
What she says, Carl.
Charles Burleson. He lives at 1320 Estes Road in Lorena.
You know where that is too?
Yes, so it's a question, my, I guess, question and suggestion would be regarding the water billing and the cutoff measurement. First, I don't know who I spoke to, but if whoever could please extend my apology to who I called this week I was exasperated about my meter being cut off, and I meant no ill will to you or any of the city's staff. I knew the conditions that I was faced with, and I was very frustrated. So I should have not been as I should have been a lower key. So I'm terribly sorry. But I would just like to be curious if there's any possibility in the future of perhaps several things that might reduce shutoffs beyond the printed warning that I do see on the billing card that I do know is there. But is there perhaps the potential for a system to auto-draft people for their monthly billed amount that would just take it automatically? Or some type of mechanism to generate an email, or better yet, even a text indicating an overdue amount on the 15th, 16th, 17th. I know if I got one of those, I would probably never miss that 22nd cutoff date. Or better yet, I would suggest, just in my opinion, is there a way to push the overdue amount onto the next month with and then add the penalty with the declaration that you'd be shut off if you didn't pay within X date. So I'm just curious if there's any thought of those out in the future. I would just say personally, this may sound silly, but of all the things I do in my life, I actually have considerable, anxiety about my water bill, because I know there's that short period if I miss it, and if my card, I get it out of the mailbox when I'm driving off to work, and my mail doesn't come back in, or it slips down in the car, or if it sits somewhere and one of my family members sets a magazine on it and I don't see it and it's out of sight, out of mind, and I just, oh gosh, I'm always worried about that. So, and I know it's the 15th, but I would also maybe, don't know how this happens, but if people are in a place where the postal carrier, it sticks to somebody else's magazine and it goes to 2 streets over, they don't get their bill. Just to consider those kinds of situations. So, just asking if there's any kind of consideration of that in the future, or might alleviate the amount of time you have to spend cutting off and cutting back on, and I don't know if that's worth thinking about. So, anyway, that's what I have. That's all. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Okay. That was all the ones that we have that wanted to talk. Number 3, the police report with Chief Dorsey.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Good to see everybody. Want to start out with our police report for the month of February. We had 113 total calls for service for the month. Reports, arrest, offense, incident reports, 22. Crash reports, 11. And citations and warnings, 125. 59 citations, 66 warnings. Then for our city ordinance report for the month of February, we have 10 violations that are open and pending, 8 properties in citation status. That's a total of 18 total cases.
Are these still your open cases to hear the?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
The ones at the top, well,
Yes.
and then the ones in the citation are still open.
Yes, sir.
We do have an applicant for our code enforcement position. The mayor and I and Ms. Pam met with the gentleman, Thomas Arnold. He's sitting in the back here. We invited him to come to the council meeting tonight just to introduce him and have him meet the council, and that way we can, put a face with his name. And right now he's still in the hiring process, and we're still reviewing a few things.
Should know something probably maybe tomorrow, and then whether we do this or not,
What was his last name?
We offer him a job.
His name's Thomas Arnold.
Can you introduce
Not for hiring.
Can you stand up?
I believe we met everybody.
Yes, everybody but Mr. Talbot. He didn't meet Chief Talbot.
But Mr. Arnold does have a background in code enforcement. He worked for the city of Temple for about 3 years as their code enforcer.
And he's willing to take the part-time for right now.
He's definitely interested and enthusiastic about the position, so we're trying to finish up some background items, and then we should be able to make a decision in the next couple of days.
We should, yes, sir.
Sounds good to me. We need a code enforcer bad.
But I'm up to code.
You're up to code, well, it's a wonder.
All right, and then next few items, I did place a few items to be approved to be purchased. I wanted to, point out that everything that we're asking for is going to be purchased from asset forfeiture funds. And for the citizens that may not know what those funds are, they're basically seized funds that the police department, acquired seized funds, and then through judicial process were awarded those funds at a later time.
It's a lot nicer saying it that way than what I said, it's drug money.
Yeah.
More or less. A lot of the money's, it's really is criminal proceeds that are seized, and then through judicial process, we're awarded that money to buy equipment and things that the police department needs. So it's definitely a blessing to I guess, take something that's used for bad and actually turn it and use it for something that
Good.
can benefit us and our citizens and our community. So that's definitely a plus. Yes, sir.
Mr. Dorsey, is my understanding that the asset, that all the money in the asset forfeiture fund can only be used for the police department?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's correct. Yes, sir.
Certain things for the police department, isn't it? There's
Yes,
just certain
Anything
things,
that
yeah.
really,
So if you don't use it, it's just lost.
Yeah.
Well, if we don't use it,
it'll
I mean,
it just sits
stay.
there.
Yeah,
We won't lose it, but,
yeah, I mean, if you don't spend it, it's
Right.
just, doesn't do anybody any good. So,
right, yes, sir.
we can't spend it on patching streets and stuff like that.
No, it's strictly for the police department.
Yeah,
Yeah, there are some rules and parameters on what the money can be spent for.
Yes.
And then every year we have to submit a report to show our income and then the expenditures on that account.
Yes, sir.
And Esther and I work on that. Yes, sir.
Can we use that money for, police officers' pay?
Yes, sir.
Can we use it for code enforcement officers?
I believe it's only for like sworn officers, like for the police department personnel. I
From
mean,
what I checked on, it said you sworn officers.
right. As far as I know, that's all we can use it for is like police officers, sworn law enforcement officers.
I didn't realize you could use it for salaries.
We can. The only downside is I would probably caution against it because I would see it like as a, like a grant position. Because you can use that money to pay your officer, but once that money is gone, then it's gone.
Yeah,
So, I mean, we can use it, as a, emergency situation or, on a as-needed basis. But I wouldn't rely on it for, on a regular basis.
Yes, sir.
For salaries. So, as far as the code enforcement position, I know that we're not budgeted for it this year.
Right.
But I was thinking we could use our hourly that we're already budgeted for, and then if we're in a deficit at the end of the budget year for the officers, then we can use that to fill in the deficit. But
Okay.
I believe we have enough, because since we're still understaffed by one officer, I think, well, even if we bring on a code enforcement part-time, we should have enough in that fund at the end of the year to cover everything.
Okay, so your plan is to utilize the budgeted money
Yes, sir.
for your police officers to pay the code enforcement officer.
Yes, sir.
And then when the budget year comes up, with our new budget year,
Then we can
it's
budget.
in October 1st,
Yes, sir.
then we can budget for the code enforcement officer at that time.
Yes, sir.
Correct. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. As far as the items that we're asking to purchase, the first, I'll start out with the radios. Our portable radios that we have now are pretty old. I looked up the serial numbers online, and they're roughly, I think they were made like 2004. So they're way past their shelf life, but Motorola makes good radios, so they hold up. But we're getting to the point where we're having reception issues, and there's really nothing to improve it at this point other than to upgrade our radios. But this company that I chose to go with, Sunny Communications, they're out of Colorado. They sell refurbished radios. The one, if we got them straight from Motorola or brand new, they'd be $5,000 or $6,000 per radio. But these are refurbished and have everything like as if it was new, but they're a little over $1,500 a radio. So I don't really see a point in buying brand new radios and then, 10 years, or, however many years, you're just gonna throw them away and get new ones anyway. So this is a way to save money and get the equipment we need. I know that Arena just purchased 7 radios from the same company, and they said they work great, no issues. But this is for 7 radios, the 7 lapel mics, and then there's a shipping charge on here. The reason I wanted to go with 7 radios, we have 4 officers, but then I'm trying to hire one more, so that'd be 5. And then if we take on any reserves or we need a backup, radio goes down, then we have 1 or 2 on hand as a backup. So the total price for everything, without tax is $11,816, and that would be paid by asset forfeiture funds.
Do I have a motion to approve? Yes? Yes, sir, Mr.
I'd
Williams.
like to ask a question, if I may. I understand that's a 90-day warranty on
Yes,
those
sir.
Radios and a 1 year on the speaker mics.
Yes, sir.
Okay, is there gonna be any other fees associated with these radios?
No, sir.
Okay. So I'd like to make a motion that, we purchase 7 radios from Sunny Communications for the total amount of $11,816. And that's radios, speakers, mics, shipping and that.
I second.
Second
Go
it?
ahead.
Mr. Bass seconded it. All in favor? Unanimous.
Thank you.
Okay? Yes, sir.
And then moving on to a little bit bigger items, we do currently have a 2021 Ford Explorer all-wheel drive police vehicle on order. We ordered it back in November timeframe, but at that time they didn't have that vehicle on the lot. They had, it had to be built from the ground up, so it's still in production and it's anticipated to be a tentative, pretty solid delivery date of late next month. It's getting close to where we can get it.
This will be the vehicles.
Okay.
But unfortunately, with the way cars are right now, and now it's because I'm trying to stay with the same company, Silsby Ford is where we ordered the first car, and then these 2 additional cars is from the same company. But they're saying now that if you try to get anything that they don't have, the order banks are closing for all their cars, and it could be upwards of a year or more. If you were to order a car they don't have now, then it'd be 12 months or more on cars. I know everybody's having a hard time getting cars. But the one Explorer that we already have on order, plus these 2 additional cars that I'm presenting tonight, would replace 3 of our oldest vehicles that we have in our fleet, one being a 2008 Tahoe, and then the other 2 are both 2014 F-150s. And to be honest, those F-150s, I think it's time for, to phase those out. I know a lot of departments are, just by the way they use fuel, and just the top speed of them is 99 miles an hour, and there's sometimes we need to move, and you're having someone just pull off from you, leave you in the dust.
It drains your batteries too, doesn't it, having all
and
the equipment in there?
If you have a vehicle that's set up for police equipment, they have 2 batteries, where these pickups only have 1, and it's taking a toll with all the equipment that we run on them. But tonight I'm asking for an additional 2021 Ford Explorer and then a 2022 Dodge Durango. They're both all-wheel drive, V6 motors. The Explorers are the EcoBoost. So we will have some fuel savings compared to the trucks. These are the vehicles that they have. The cars are there, they're on the lot. They just need to be outfitted, and if we end up getting all 3 cars, and they'd all be delivered late, I was told they'd all be delivered late next month. So towards the end of April. Yes, ma'am.
What are you gonna do with your 3 vehicles that you're not gonna be using anymore?
My plan for the vehicles, the Tahoe and the 2 trucks, we're still deciding between the Tahoe and the truck for the fire department, but one will for sure go to our volunteer fire department. One's gonna be going to the city maintenance water department, and then one will be going to, I just call it city admin, city hall staff. If they need to run an errand for city business, they'll have a vehicle they can use instead of their personal vehicle.
Sir.
My only alternative to that, and I don't know if it would be an option, because I know the water department's trying to get a bigger vehicle than what they, like a 2-ton maybe, heavier duty truck. I was thinking, well, if that 1/2-ton that we have, we could sell it and then give them the money. I don't know if we can do that, but I'm more than happy to give them a vehicle if they can use one of ours. We'll decommission it, take all our equipment out of it, and then let them have a vehicle.
And all of this is gonna come out of the forfeiture money?
Yes, ma'am. The cars will be paid 100% out of asset forfeiture funds. Fortunately, we have enough to pay for everything in full. Starting with the Explorer, it is a 2021 Ford Explorer. It's optioned out as similar as to what the vehicle we've already ordered. The only difference is this one is a dark gray. So in one of the quotes that I gave y'all tonight, it includes a paint job to paint it black, but I'm not for it or against it. I'm happy either way. I think a dark gray would be fine with the other vehicles being black, or if we decide to paint it black, it is pretty expensive, $7,527 to paint it black. So that's an optional cost. I just wanted to let that be an option. If we don't paint it, I was going to present what I'd like to do with all the vehicles. If we get the 3 new ones and then the 2 other newest Tahoes that we have 2 2017 Tahoes. And I gave the council tonight a quote for the ballistic glass. That would include a windshield, the driver's side front, the passenger front window, and then also the door panels. Putting ballistic materials in there, and it's officer safety kind of deal. It could say.
I think the highway patrol's going with all that same place too.
I think everybody's going to their.
God forbid, something bad happens, but this is, an added level of protection for the officers.
$7,000 against somebody's life is not that much.
So I was thinking that if we don't paint the car, we can use, it's basically the same amount to put this ballistic glass in it.
Okay, Mr. Wiggins has
Yes,
a
sir.
question.
Okay, on the floor.
Yes, sir.
When you're discussing about, the option about either we take it gray, or we can paint it black for over $7,500, which will pay for the ballistic glass package. It also is pointed out on there about that unit being damaged.
Yes,
On
sir.
the driver's side door.
Yes, sir.
$7,500 worth of repairs for that. Could you explain to the council and
Sure.
everyone about,
Yes, sir.
how that vehicle got damaged?
Yes, sir.
And then who repaired it?
Yes, sir. My understanding from talking with Seth at Silsby Ford, when that vehicle got delivered off the transport truck, they said that the vehicle was parked about 40 feet back from the transport truck, but the driver wasn't paying attention and backed into it and sideswiped the car with the trailer, with the transport trailer. So my understanding is one of the doors, I believe the driver's side door, got hit by the trailer and damaged the car. And I think that upset, because that car was going to somebody else, and I think that upset them, so they said, we don't want this car anymore. So they sent it back to Ford, and it was replaced with all new factory parts. And they said that it's fixed as if nothing happened to it. They said the only way we would know it got damaged is they had to put it on here. But they aren't, because it was sent back to Ford and fixed like new. According to them, they're not. I asked about a discount, and there's not one. But my understanding is it was sent back to Ford and it was fixed by Ford. And there's no kind of crash report or any document on like if you looked at the VIN, there's no crash history or anything like that. So, yes, sir.
You don't have a problem with the grade, do you?
I don't.
Well, you're not talking about that grade.
I mean,
7,500 seems awful high to me to paint a vehicle.
right,
But I'd rather see you use the money
I do
for
too.
the safety items.
I just wanted for that to be an option, you know, just to,
What if it wasn't so much money, but 7,500, I'll airbrush it. I'm kidding, I can't do that.
but I know, I think these are gonna be good cars for us. I know that unfortunately that one got damaged and it's up, it'll be up to y'all. I'm more than happy to, if y'all wanna go with this one, we can go with it. If not, then we can order one later. It's not a problem.
Ford fixed it, I mean, that's,
But my understanding is it's fixed, it was done right. I mean, I trust this company. I know a lot of people go with, they're supposed to be the best in the fleet. I mean, they're supposedly number one in the fleet.
do we still have the same new warranty with it?
Yes, sir.
and everything?
Oh, yeah,
Nothing
brand new.
changed? Okay.
Yeah.
It's, yeah.
So on to the cost. So I included a quote for the Explorer with the paint job, and this price is delivered to our door. I mean, it's all the equipment is being outfitted by Dana Safety. They're I guess one of the big companies in the public safety world. They have a $22 million contract with DPS. They're doing all of their ballistic packages on their cars. So,
I'm gonna say one thing, because we keep saying the door was fixed by Ford. The door was replaced by Ford.
Yes, ma'am.
At the factory. It was replaced.
that's my understanding.
Yes.
Sorry. Thank you. So the Explorer for the 2021 Ford Explorer with the black paint job is $64,319.86. The car, as is with the gray, the carbonized gray metallic, is $56,792.86. And then for the Dodge Durango, it's a 2022 Dodge Durango all-wheel drive, and it is a black vehicle. Total price is $54,749.94. But that does include the vehicle, the upfit. I mean, that's brought to our door. The only thing we gotta do is put graphics on it and then move our camera systems from our old cars into the new ones. And that will be done by the company that installed them. Other than that, we just move everything over and they're ready to roll. As far as the ballistic glass goes, it's an additional cost. My understanding is if we order it, it'll be roughly 2 months or so before they get that material in. $7,540 per vehicle. So that's for, what I was proposing is the 3 new vehicles, the 2 Explorers, the 1 Durango, and then our 2 2017 Tahoes that are our 2 newest vehicles in our fleet, and I plan on keeping them 3 or 4 more years. Sir? 5 total. So if we did those 5 vehicles, my thought on that is if we do the 3 new ones, we might as well do all the cars that our officers could be driving on a regular basis. The only one that I wouldn't do is the 2014 Tahoe, that's our spare. It's not gonna be driven that much, so I don't really see a need to put that glass in the door panels in that one.
And the code enforcer will be driving one of the vehicles.
He'll be driving one of the ones that we're giving.
The 217, oh, given away,
Yes, ma'am.
given to us, okay.
Giving to another,
Okay.
probably the one, either the one out of the maintenance or the one from City Hall.
Okay, all right.
But the total cost to do the 5 vehicles for the this includes the ballistic windshields, both front doors, driver and passenger side, and then they armor the inside the door panels. And I was talking to them about the ballistic glass, and they said that it's, I mean, they do, they test it. Not only do they test it once, but they continuously, test it and go out there and shoot the glass. And they said it'll stop things that it's not, it'll go above and beyond what it's rated for. And they even said that the only way they could get rifle rounds to go, certain rifle rounds was to shoot at a 90-degree angle, but that the glass, even though it went through, it slowed the bullet down enough. They had a mannequin wearing body armor like I'm wearing, and the body armor stopped the rifle round and didn't hurt the
body.
body. So I mean, it could definitely save one of us.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you can't put a price tag on an officer's life.
No.
You know, $7,540 per car
vehicle.
is
Yeah,
a
even
small amount to
37.7,
pay,
yeah.
you know, to potentially save an officer from a bad situation.
And none of this is coming out of taxpaying dollars. It's
That's
all-
correct.
Mr. Wiggins has a question?
Yes, sir.
I don't disagree with anything you said there. However, this is not on the agenda,
Yes, sir.
so we will not be able to vote on the
On
ballistic glass
the,
vehicle
on the
package.
37, yeah.
And I just wanted just to bring, since we're on the subject of vehicles, I just wanted to bring it to the council's attention, but, we can, I mean, this can always be ordered later.
Yeah,
So
it could be on next
That might
agenda.
be, Mike, I think it'd be a great deal if you put that on the next agenda.
Yes.
And that way we can
Go for that.
probably take some action.
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Griffin,
Do you have a total of all five?
of the 3 vehicles?
I gotta pull my calculator out.
Okay,
Uh,
I was just wondering if you had a,
So, the total, my personal opinion is not to paint if we go,
Right.
if we get the second floor, don't paint it. Save the money to go towards the glass.
So how much would that total be there?
So the total on that floor, if we don't paint it,
It was 56.
56.
I believe the total would be $111,499.88.
For the 3.
so the total on that floor as gray in color, $56,792.86.
Okay, and we know what the others are.
And then on the Durango would be $54,749.94.
Okay, and then on the other one, okay, those are those 2. Okay,
It's all of them too.
okay.
And then the other one,
You'll just vote on all 3 of them?
Yeah, the other one's already done.
We already.
So that'd
The other one-
be $111,542.80.
That's for 2
Is
of
that
them?
what you had, sir?
Well, I had, because
the other
I
one's already paid.
took $56,749.94, is that right?
No,
That's for the
No.
Durango.
No.
No,
On
I-
the wooded floor without the paint, $56,792.86.
Okay, and then the other one was $54,749.94, and that equals $111,542.80.
Yes, ma'am.
okay, well, what's that 64,319?
Well, that's with,
With the paint
with the
job.
paint job, and we're not gonna
We're
paint
not
it.
gonna paint it.
All right.
The quote, the $64,319.86 would be for the Explorer with a $7,000 paint job.
But he's happy with gray, dark gray.
You say 7,000 for a paint job?
Uh-huh,
70,
yeah.
Golly,
But it's-
7,527.
It's from the factory, yeah,
yeah.
factory paint.
I like gray.
Factory paint job, factory paint, yeah. Okay, do I have a motion? Because the motion was to discuss, consider, any possible, and possibly take action on approving the purchase of 2 new police vehicles, to be paid from the police department asset forfeiture funds of $111,542.80.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, Mr. Bass made a motion. Do I
I'll
have a
second
second?
it. I'll second.
Mr. Prater seconded it. All in favor? Unanimous.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I will add you can revisit the glass on next month's agenda.
Yes, sir.
Thank you all very much.
You're welcome, sir. Okay, number 4, water report by Jeeves. Sprouse. Why I gotta say his last name? I was gonna say Spruce, Sprouse.
Well, whatever they call me today, tomorrow. So, we'll start with that. Everybody, y'all get a copy of the leaks and everything we did? I mean, 25 leaks last month, well, a month and a half. It's kind of run this around, turn off, turn on. I don't know, check for leaks, install the meters. So we've been busy. We've got over to the ballpark and mowed that once already, just to kind of help them out.
It looked good too.
Thank you for that.
And, I mean, that's basically, we just been day to day.
Finally getting the equipment to get these things finished and
Well,
some pipe laid.
the Robin Road project is going to go that now. We probably 60 foot left to dig, and then we'll put the rest of that pipe in the ground probably tomorrow. And put a valve on it and start flushing it so we get a good back tee out of it. Get that tied in, and then we'll have to drop our tee in, which we're gonna leave that area open, and then we'll be good to go. Hopefully, everybody will be happy out there.
We hope so.
What size pipe they were going there with?
3,
From a 1 to a 3.
no, from a 2.
From a 2 to a 3?
Oh,
Yeah,
man,
one wasn't much.
No, it wasn't.
it ain't gonna be much, but I mean, so, and I got one paper, me and Johnny double checked the maps this morning. First thing, I sent him copies of all the changes that need to be made on there, like the upgrade that we're doing out here, and a couple other spots that we found, you know, a line that didn't get marked or wasn't on the old map. So, he's got all that information now, and hopefully he'll have that back to us pretty quick. Yes, sir.
How many copies of the map do we?
We've only got just the one right now.
Well, we're supposed to get more than that.
Well, we haven't got the final one yet.
We don't have the final.
one yet.
Okay. Well, I was just wondering when there would be one up here
Right.
at the office where I could see it.
But we've got the one that the changes that we made prior, and in the conference room.
Well, I'm talking about the new one, the updated.
Right, we haven't got it yet. That's why I said I had to send him whatever else I found that we found in between
When did you send that to John?
this morning.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I took pictures and had Esther send it over.
Right.
Mr. Wiggins?
So,
Well, I was thinking Bass had his hand up too.
did
I
we
had both
get
of them.
our TCEQ emergency preparedness plan submitted to
Yep.
TCEQ?
I haven't heard anything
March
back
1st
yet.
deadline?
Yep.
Okay.
I haven't heard anything back from them yet.
Do we have a copy of that here in the office?
Yes, I've got a copy in my office, and Laura has a copy where she sent it, the email confirmation.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Bass?
I have a question on the new line, 3-inch line you put in. How many feet did you put in
A
approximately?
little over a mile.
Well, what would be the difference in cost of a 3-inch pipe and a 4-inch pipe? Wouldn't be all that much, would it?
Yeah, because the size, the pipe right now is $3 a foot. Because I called them today, because I got the invoices. The other day, it was $2.75 a foot, the first of the month, and now it's $3 a foot.
That's for the 3-inch? And how much is a 4-inch?
I don't know, I haven't priced it.
If I'm not mistaken, a little bit bigger, it doesn't cost all that much, and while you're doing all that digging and putting in
But
pipe,
that's why we
why you put it,
upgraded from a 2 to a 3.
yeah, but a 2 to a 4 would be, take care of future growth out in there, wouldn't it?
Well, the 3 will too, if we get the water, you know, the pressure out in that area.
Yeah,
Because that's the main reason why I didn't want to go back with a 2-inch. We
Yeah.
put the 3
yeah.
and still be able to put some taps out there if need be.
Well, what I was thinking, the reason I asked that question, yeah, I know in the past, if they needed a bigger pipe, it was say a 1-inch, they'd go with 1.5 or a 2. 5, 10 years later, they'd have to go to a 3. 5 years later, they'd have to go, why don't they just put a bigger one in as they go and save all that money?
And that's, you know, I could have put a bigger line, but then it would have been a lot more expense for us. Yes, sir.
Okay, yes, sir.
This is hydraulics and
sense
math
to
and
me.
things too. I think you just go up 25%, it just increases the water 25%, it'll go up 3 or 4 times.
Right.
You know, from 4 to 6. It's not half, it's a whole lot more than that, same as 3 to 4, but the pipe today is pretty expensive, so a 4-inch pipe lot would be close to $5 a foot.
Right. Yeah, 'cause
I
I
priced some
priced,
here a while back, that was 6 inch, and it's pretty expensive.
Yeah, I priced that 6 inch a while back, C900.
How about 518?
Yeah.
518 for what?
A foot.
So, yeah, I mean,
518 for 4.
Especially for that, where'd you put that down there for?
Where'd you get that?
so I think we'll be good out there. I don't look for that to blow up anytime soon with, you know, expansion and people wanting to build out there, because they don't want to turn loose to the land right now. I don't think. And what were you saying about the hydraulic analysis?
I had asked Johnny, once he got the final update on the map, how long it would take to get that back. And he told me 30 days.
So hopefully by the next council meeting, we'll know and have something.
For the whole system.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Uh-huh. Y'all got anything else? You don't want to give us a lead?
Johnny,
I've got it on the agenda.
What do you say?
y'all won't give us.
On the agenda.
We're gonna get y'all a new white one.
Engineer's report by Johnny.
Will,
It's in your packet.
Okay. Engineer report.
what?
The engineer report.
Yeah, it's in here.
Yes,
Engineer report, okay.
Not much.
I don't see
The
nothing.
first thing on the engineer report, the USDA rural development, new wastewater system. As reported in January, we have completed the USDA rural development required reversion. 2 sets of each contract documents and specifications, 10 total sets, were delivered to Terry, I can't pronounce her name,
Chinwick.
Chenoweth, of the USDA Rural Development on January the 18th of 2022. To date, the USDA RD State Office has not issued any review for plans, contract documents, and specifications. And that's on the rural
yeah,
development.
we've been waiting 2 months
Can I ask you?
for a reply.
Yes, sir.
Was it last meeting or the meeting before that that was gonna send somebody to talk to that lady?
To Terry,
Yeah.
yeah. And I think Tabor talked to her. I don't have her, we don't have her number here. That was, Sonia always had those numbers. And I have looked all through her paperwork and I have checked out her computers. I have done all that kind of stuff, and there is no number for Terry.
The little piece of paper that we've had from her, there's no phone number for it?
That's a personal number.
I'll ask Johnny for it.
You can call the office probably and get her.
Yeah.
But I,
But I've been trying to get in touch with her, but I didn't have any other way of doing it.
I'll look further.
Yeah.
I've got her number somewhere.
Johnny, USDA had it in their office 2 or 3 months, they didn't even know we had it
Yes, sir.
before January. So that's where the sewer is.
Yeah,
All
waiting.
right. Number 2, the hydraulic analysis and system mapping update. We completed the map revision and delivered a preliminary set for Gene's review on 2/17 of 2022. We are waiting on Gene's review. You got that to him, Gene? Okay. It's taken care of?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Number 3, TCEQ Emergency Preparedness Plan, EPP, Senate Bill 3. We completed the engineering part of the EPP and emailed the information to the city on 2/7 of 2022. The entire TCEQ EPP Senate 3 must be submitted to TCEQ by March the 1st of 2022 deadline. And we're working on that, right? It's already been done. That's already been done, right?
By the first.
That was last month.
Last month, but that's what he has on here. So we already got that done.
The report that says 324
Only-
on top of it?
Nope.
I've got the one that says 324.
Okay, you wanna read it then?
24 in the packet.
He's the only one that matters.
Oh, here it is. Here it is.
Oh, okay.
This
All right.
is- yeah, this is
Disregard
last
what
month.
I've been saying for the last 5 minutes,
I emailed it to Zal because he didn't get it to me late.
till late.
And
Okay,
Mr. Wiggins was in the office.
that's
Oh,
last
wait,
one.
oh, okay,
You
gotcha.
got the first copy,
All right.
and then
All right,
somebody-
okay, this one says the City of Bruceville-Eddy Engineers
This don't
Report.
work.
I got it.
Is it on?
Yes, it's been on,
Okay.
it goes on and goes off.
City of Bruceville-Eddy Engineers Report on 3/24/2022. I've got the right one now, sorry about that. USDA Rural Development, new wastewater system. Memorandum of the understanding, MOU, about the future sewer line installation on Falls County Road 457 has been approved and signed by both Falls County and the City of Bruceville-Eddy. Okay? B, to date, neither Terry Chitterworth, Hillsborough, USDA RD office, nor the USDA RD state office has issued any renew for plans, contract documents, or specifications. Number 2, hydraulic analysis and system mapping update.
Thank you.
We completed the first map revision and delivered a preliminary set for Gene's review on 2/17 of 2022. We are waiting on Gene's review, comments, and our markups. And that's his report. Chisholwick.
Chin,
Oh, Chin, that's a, well, I did C8, okay. Chinholwick. All right, got that. All right, now, number 6, council agenda. Council to discuss, consider, and possibly approving minutes from February the 24th of 2022 council meeting and special called meetings on March the 14th of 2022 council meeting. Do I have a, somebody want to accept that? Okay, Mr. Bass?
I move to approve item 6 on the agenda for the minutes of February 24th council meeting and a special call meeting on March 14th, 2022.
And Mr. Wiggins, I think, was seconded.
I'll second.
All in favor? Unanimous. Okay. 7, council to discuss, consider, and possibly approving on refuse the 2022 Consumer Price Index, the CPI, adjustment to municipal techno-communication right-of-way access line rates due by April the 30th of 2022.
So we have to respond only if we want
We
to
have to respond to that
decline.
one, Ms. Pam, by April the 30th?
If you want to decline it.
Yes.
Yeah, if we want to decline it.
Yes, there's a point of discussion on that. If we do not respond to accept the increase, we don't have, in other words, we don't have to do nothing.
Yeah.
If we don't want to. If we do,
Then we have to
respond only if you want to decline. the
Yeah.
increase
Refuse.
in action.
Okay. So, we're
Well,
just,
yeah, does not.
don't
then-
need any action on it?
No?
Okay. No
If-
action
If we
taken.
don't take any action, it'll
Okay.
just,
It'll just go through. So no action taken.
Okay, so they don't.
We're not gonna refuse it.
I mean, okay.
We're not gonna respond to it that way, it just goes through.
If we're not, yeah, if we're not gonna do anything, then that means that rate will go up.
It'll
Yeah.
go up. Yeah.
So the
Okay. Number 8, council to discuss, consider, and possibly approving the final plat for lots 1, block 1 for, Bettencourt addition. This final plat complies with the City of Bruceville-Eddy subdivision ordinance. Per email from Tabor and Associate Incorporation on March the 16th of 2022.
is this,
Yeah. And that's the one.
is that the one on?
Is that's not,
Old
is that the one
Moody?
on Old Moody Road?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought we approved that last time.
yeah, we took action on it last.
Yeah, last
Yeah.
Well,
meeting.
that was a preliminary.
That was the preliminary,
Yeah,
this is the
okay.
final plat.
Oh, okay.
So,
I'll make a motion to approve.
okay,
Final
Mr.
plat.
all right, Mr. Todder,
I'll second.
okay, and Prater. Okay,
Vote.
and all in favor? Unanimous. Okay. Number 9, council to discuss, consider, and possibly approving the final plat for Lot 1, Block 1, for D and J addition. The final plat complies with the City of Bruceville-Eddy subdivision ordinance per email from Tabor and Associates Incorporation on March the 16th of 2022. That's my lot,
Oh, that's your lot, yeah.
which is gonna be my daughter's lot.
Okay.
Yeah, we seen this one thing, but they're supposed to bring us a new one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when it, because they put it down here when they done the final plat as, they named it something else,
They put J and M,
J and M instead of D and J.
it should be D and J.
Yeah, and they're gonna bring us a new one.
Okay.
Yeah, Pam talked to them, and they're gonna be bringing a new one in,
Where is this?
okay?
No, this is off on
Do
Melissa.
we need to wait to approve that, or can we do that with?
Yeah, you can,
I think we can approve
we can
it with
approve
the
it,
understanding.
that they're bringing it.
Yeah.
And they did change
So they'll do
that we're not taking care of the
Sewer, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
be-
we took that, this is final plat, it doesn't say that. Yeah.
Okay, okay, I got it.
yeah.
Okay, so Wiggins, okay,
Okay.
do I have a
So-
second?
Well, wait a minute.
Okay, wait a minute.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve the final plat of Lot 1, Block 1 for D and J addition, provided that
They changed it.
that they amend, where it says the J and M addition, they amend that to read D
D
and J
right.
ranch
Yeah,
addition.
D and J, okay. All right, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Bass, second. All in favor to, let me read it, because since we got that little thing in there. Council, approving the final plat for Lot 1, Block 1, for D and J addition, with the improvement, the changing of the final plat been brought to us under the understanding from J and M to D and J.
Yeah.
All in favor?
I sure hate to look biased.
Unanimous.
I sure hate to be biased and afraid.
Me too. Okay. Number 10. Council to discuss, consider, and possibly approving the preliminary plat of replat of Mackey Ranch Edition, Lot 1, Block 1, remained Eagle Ranch, Block 1, Lots 1 through 13, to the City of Bruceville-Eddy. Submittal included the preliminary plat, preliminary drainage map, and preliminary utility plan. The preliminary plat falls to comply with the subdivision ordinance of the City of Bruceville-Eddy per email from Tabor and Associates Incorporation on March the 17th of 2022. Discussion.
That's what this is. This is just a big copy
Yes.
of all of that.
We have the gentleman here who wants to talk about this.
Anybody wants to see it.
So we need to give ourselves enough time to make any modifications to this one. So we tried to rescind or push out the grant. So I recommend you all just vote to deny right now, unfortunately. That said, we have reached out to Mayor Owens and Ken, and we're working with them on an annexation development agreement that could make it so that this development, as well as the larger tract behind the corner piece on Mackey and 3rd Street, can get annexed into the town. I think that'd be better for everyone and bring some people into town. So that's pretty much it.
Questions or anything?
So what was it?
He just, don't take action on it. We can either, I guess we can
Well,
not
I
take
think we need
action
to
or we
take
can.
action.
we
Yeah,
can
we need to
just
take
not vote.
action.
Okay.
Yeah,
all
just
right.
Because if we don't take action within 30 days.
Okay.
So with that said, I'll make a motion that we do not approve the preliminary plat of Mackey Ranch Edition, Lot 1, Block 1.
Okay,
Second.
all right. And Talbert, Talbert
You
seconded.
do that all the time.
I
Okay,
do
all
have
in
one
favor?
question for you
Oh.
after we vote.
Okay,
Go
okay, go ahead.
ahead and vote.
All in favor? Unanimous? He has a question.
Now, this, I understand that in the beginning, TxDOT didn't like it because of your street,
Correct.
and you're gonna widen, and there's a cul-de-sac there.
Correct, so,
Okay.
what that concept is, it would be a shared driveway to be maintained by the HOA of the community. That is one of the items that didn't fall within the letter of the subdivision ordinance.
And I think you had, what was it, 25 feet for a road, but 50 is required for fire trucks and everything to be able to get in.
Right, and so I believe we did it correctly where technically it would count as a fire access lane. And that would allow for us to get a nice number of half-acre lots. They would just, the HOA would maintain
Yeah.
it. And then the other thing that Taylor didn't like was that on Mackey Ranch, the lot lines were a little angled so that we could hit our half-acre requirements for septic systems. And that's one of the options we'll be working with y'all on development agreement to either get exceptions on that or something along those lines.
Yeah, I think that was the only problem, if I remember correctly, that I was aware of. They had to have a 50-foot street instead of 25.
Right, well, it would be technically not a street, but a driveway.
Well, yeah, whatever, yeah.
Okay.
It matters to the builders.
Yeah,
Thank you.
all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Number 11, council to discuss, consider, and possibly take action on amending the current application and agreement for the utility services, thereby adopting a new ordinance 2022-03-24, which will replace the current ordinance.
Ms. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I've studied that in detail since I helped write most of it earlier in the year, and it's been tweaked with other council and staff. I'd be glad to make a motion to adopt it, what's
Okay.
presented to us, except before the word therefore, it needs to be a semicolon. That's all.
Therefore,
Yes, it's
All
like
right.
that carries a semicolon and then a comma.
okay, all right.
That's it.
And a second?
That's the only change?
It's on this, the
Yeah.
water agreement.
Yeah.
Do we have a second?
I'm
I'll
saying-
second.
Okay, Bass, okay. Bass. Okay, all in favor? Unanimous, okay. Number Bass. 12, council to discuss, consider, and probably take action on new equipment and vehicles for the water and maintenance department. That's me. I put that on there.
I can help you discuss some.
Okay, good. I put that on there because
Not in the budget.
our guys are running on junk. I'm sorry to say that about our city equipment, but it's really bad. I mean, we have
Like us.
we have them as far as back as 2007, our 2010, our dually that we have that we usually haul our equipment around with. It's broke.
It's got a possibly bad head gasket.
Head gaskets on it.
About
So
$5,000
How much?
around 5. That's just what we're guessing. That's what we're guessing for a head
I use
gasket.
the shade tree.
Yeah, yeah, that's just what we're guessing it's
You
gonna
know,
cost.
the dump truck is just sitting out there at the shop.
Yeah.
It won't pass inspection. It was leaking oil when they bought it, and it's just gotten worse. The dump truck trailer, the one that needs the axle and stuff, we hadn't tried to, replace it because the gooseneck trailer is hauling the backhoe around, which is fine. It's just the trucks, we don't stop. We're going 7 days a week, sometimes 10, 12 hours a day.
Yeah, and now we have a dump truck that won't run. We have a dually that we use to pull our heavy equipment with. It's not running.
Like,
And then we have a 2007, I mean, we just got a lot of stuff.
We're using my truck, the Dodge, to pull the gooseneck right now, which is single axle, 3,500.
That won't last long.
Yeah, so I think we need to try to figure on whether we put it in the next budget or what, just to give you all an idea, because I've got
I put this on
an
there.
07 Chevrolet pickup, two-wheel drive, got 237,000 miles on
Yeah.
it. And it's not, you know, it's a lot of idling and stop and go and,
Yeah, it's not even a diesel.
yeah. Yes, sir.
I know that, we've got, like I said, we've got a list here of the vehicles,
Uh-huh.
backhoes, all the equipment, I guess. But and I know that, Mr. Fowler and I had met with you during the budget, session about what you might need. And these things did not come up, but what did come up was a skid steer.
Right, and none of that, and that didn't get budgeted either, is what I was told.
No, it didn't, but I mean, that was, none of this stuff
Well,
was,
I mean,
was even brought up. But now
that's
what
because
you,
I don't wanna ask for new vehicles. I mean, if wheel driving, the wheels fall off.
yeah,
But, you know,
but we need something, I think, what I'd like to see, Gene, is do something like the police chief did. Come to us, have some, what you want, and have some prices down, quotes for us.
right,
I mean, you know, it'd be nice if we could just give you everything new, a new fleet.
That'd be nice.
We can't do that.
it won't
We
happen.
don't have the funds that unless, you know, that the police department
Right.
has.
And that's why this has not come up before, because I know the money's not there.
Yeah,
Right.
but, okay,
But-
we
but-
have some money in
but-
capital
budget's coming
assets
up.
and stuff, but I didn't know what that would work.
Yes, sir.
When he's finished, I'm just raising my hand.
Okay,
When it
sir.
comes my
I
turn.
mean, I would like to see something specific,
Right.
what you want, and then give us some prices, quotes. on
We've
that.
both been searching different places. I mean, I even called the international, place today, and he's checking on me some used vehicles that maybe a 2-ton flatbed and maybe a 3/4 ton, you know, one with the toolboxes on the side. So he's looking, we got people looking, but we just can't find them, you know, they're just not there right now.
What about the skid steer? I mean, is that something that's,
Well, yeah, I mean.
I don't
we
even know
still-
what that is, so.
We
The
need,
bulkhead.
yeah, I mean, we need that. There's a lot that would help us in our job. But,
right,
we got, you know, lawnmowers that seats about to fall off of, but we're still using it. We got one that was bought by Bill McLean and Connie, went and bought it instead of somebody from maintenance finding it, and now we have a problem with that Kubota lawnmower.
Mr. Thomas.
I'm not Mr. Williams or some of the other council members, maybe get what you need, but also, like the 1-ton duty, that's a diesel. That's a duty. You know, on some of this thing, maybe like an axle, or maybe the truck's leaking oil, maybe a rear main, so who knows? Maybe we can fix some of those things and repair them
Right.
to get by to the next budget year or something, and when things settle down a little bit, you understand? You gotta prioritize. Sometimes we gotta bubble gum and fix stuff. That's what not because that's what I had to do, but, to get by for a little while.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's fine.
You know, I'm just making a suggestion.
Right.
You know, if it takes
I'm gonna read,
$4,000 or $5,000 to put a head gasket in
Right.
that dude as a diesel, it can run a long time.
Yeah.
But the rest of it ain't going.
it's not the first time it's been down though, but he did, I asked him to bring me a list of what vehicles he had and what we owned and what we, you know, and he brought this and I said, oh my goodness, he said, well, yeah, this is not working, this, I said, I told him, I said, I'm gonna put it on the budget. So it was me that put it on the budget, on the
You gotta talk about it.
agenda.
I'll try to get a price, a better price, probably take the Dodge to the shop and let them look at it and get us a price before they fix it.
All right,
Where do you carry it?
Well, we're gonna just take it to One Way Automotive in Marina and let them work on it.
Yeah,
Which one is that?
that's Boyd Howard.
Boyd Howard, they're on,
He's a good mechanic.
Old Lorena Road.
Old Lorena Road on the right.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Mr. Griffin, do you have something?
Oh, I'm just gonna back up what Ricky said.
Oh, okay.
Make your list. I would start out with what you need the worst.
I mean, we'll work on it, I'm working on it.
See what-
Because, you know, I haven't stopped long enough to do it.
He's been too
I've
busy.
been trying to get this project taken care of.
Yeah.
Mr. Fowler, you had something?
Just to, when we agreed that we didn't have money in the budget, we added a line item on the budget. There is money in the budget for capital expenditures. We added that line
Capital
item
asset purchase.
after reviewing, when we were setting up the budget, we met with every department, you know, and we asked for things coming up, and so, I mean, the money we put in there, I think, is about $125,000, but that's, I know.
Yes,
that's
sir, it
not-
is.
That's not enough. to
No,
do what
it's
we-
101 at the city and 25 for the water.
We don't be putting money in
Capital
that
asset.
line item every year.
No, well, I had talked to, when I decided to look into this and start trying to research and try to figure out what we could do, I called and talked to Lorena, okay? And I said, hey, where do you get your vehicles? You know, blah, 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 we're in really need of some work. And so he was telling me some of the stuff, and he says what they do. You know, they have maybe like $100,000 put in there for equipment, okay? And then say they need a brand new truck, or the police department needs a vehicle. They go buy it, say that vehicle costs $50,000, and they go, okay, that's warranted for 5 years. So every year, we're gonna take $10,000 and put back into that budget until we get that built back up. And that's how they do it for equipment. That way, they always have it up there.
Probably use their depreciation figure.
Yes, sir.
And use that to build up.
Yes, sir, that's what they did. Yes, sir.
One other thing
Yes,
you
sir.
can do, in emergency, we've done it in the past with police cars. If you need something real bad and you don't have the money in the budget, you can finance it through the bank. They give us a real good
Good price, okay.
interest rate on it.
Well, we have some money in there to get some things
Yeah.
with, you know, but if we can find some
I don't
good
want
use
to,
stuff.
you know, go out tomorrow and.
Oh, no,
No.
it's gonna take
Two
time.
trucks or buy them two
Yeah.
trucks. But what I am wanting to do is, cause all these are just regular bed pickups for toolboxes. So if you need a part, you gotta climb in the back of that truck, look through that toolbox. I want some with a utility bed on it, like Richard's truck kind of.
I'll sell you one.
Where, I need one that'll run tomorrow. But, you know, and that's what I want. Whether the guys like it or not, that's what we need. Is, so you don't have to dig in that
tools.
truck, looking for a wrench. The only wrench is-
And maybe a 2-ton flat to haul equipment or something.
Yeah. But I'll get a price on that dually, and if I have to, we'll put it on the next agenda. And hopefully by then I'll have a rough idea of what it's
The
gonna
truck's a
cost.
pretty good truck.
We don't need to
inside.
take
What's
action
wrong
on
with
this
it?
tonight.
Yeah, I mean, and
Right.
I don't have a problem getting
No.
it.
Don't need to take action.
It's a good truck, it's four-wheel drive.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't wanna, I wasn't gonna go out and tell them to go ahead and fix it anyway without coming to y'all.
Yeah, true.
Thank you.
Okay, we appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, so there, on number 12, there'll be no action taken tonight. We'll wait till the next agenda or whenever we can find some time or see how much, what he's found and stuff. Is that correct, guys? Is that agreeable with y'all?
Yeah.
No
Give it
action.
some time, it may not be next month.
Right, it may be, yeah. So no action taken, okay? Number 13, council to discuss and approve amended number 12 on the January 27th, 2022 council meeting minutes. The city is not donating $2,500 to the Bruceville-Eddy Sports Association. Instead, they are doing improvements to the Duty Park in the amount of $2,500 for light poles and concession stand repairs. Yes, sir. The city can,
That's not how I remember. I
Well-
remember the motion, Mr. Prager, was it the city to donate 2,500 to the Bruceville-Eddy Sports?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes, and, yeah, we
but we
couldn't
cannot donate and we cannot sponsor.
sponsor,
The city
yeah.
can't.
We wanted to sponsor them and, come find out we can't sponsor or donate.
We can't
But
donate or
But we
sponsor.
can, give them 2,500 for the
For
upgrades,
repairs.
for repairs and upgrades.
Well, I'm not sure that we can amend
Well, it's a park.
that was in the past, what
It's
we
a,
already voted on. I mean, we didn't,
it's a city park, actually. You can spend money on city parks.
Vote to cancel.
But you can't donate it or.
Not to this
yeah.
association, Little League or whatever it was.
We can't donate or
To
sponsor
just change from
anybody.
donating to them
To
to spending
actually
money on
buying
the
it.
park.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we can repair, you know, stuff, buy equipment but we cannot donate or sponsor
we wanna,
anybody.
we wanna buy 3 poles,
So we're gonna buy 3
and
poles
that'll
and
be
take the rest of
2,100.
it.
And then we'll have 400 left over to go
Concession stand.
towards the concession stand. Because whoever built the concession stand in the past didn't take the tin all the way past the walls.
Right.
It stops right at the wall, so now we have leaking coming in.
Each corner.
So we'll have to buy a new tin and extend it out past the
So we could donate to a
So,
nonprofit like.
at the time, I did not know that we could not donate or sponsor, so we went ahead and approved it. That's why we're amending number 12 on that one, because it said donate, and we can't donate.
Mr. Wiggins,
Can we just vote to change the wording?
yeah,
Can we vote to change the wording?
Yeah.
that's all, it's simple.
I think what you have to do, I'm just not being deceptive.
Yes, sir.
Is you have to cancel that old motion and then make a new one for this instead of amending it. I don't think you can
Okay.
do that. I'm just,
Yeah,
that's what I believe.
yeah.
That'd probably
Just
be-
cancel the old one
Yeah,
and,
yes,
okay,
and we can do it on this agenda.
yes,
Yeah.
that's what it is. So
okay.
basically-
All right, so what we're gonna
I
do,
think so.
Yeah.
council is discuss and approve canceling number 12 on January 27, 2022 council meeting, on donating $2,500 to the Bruceville-Eddy Sports Association.
Okay.
Now, do I have a motion?
I'll
and
make it.
then, go
Okay,
ahead.
Griffin makes a motion on that,
I'll second.
and Prater seconds. Okay? Okay, now,
All in favor?
all in favor? Unanimous, okay? Now, council to discuss and approve, $2,500 to the Bruceville-Eddy Sports Association, for improvements in the,
No.
have to change it, can't do the.
You can't
part.
put, sports on there.
Sports,
Just
no
say,
sports.
if it
Okay.
me, I would say,
Council to discuss and approve
Duty park.
the Dooley Park, $2,500 to the Dooley Park in the amount of that for light poles and
yeah,
concession
it's a
stand?
city
Okay.
park, actually. It's a duty city park.
Dooley City Park,
And
okay.
it just happens that the baseball fields are on that
On
park.
it, yeah,
In
okay,
that
so we
park.
can't give it to the baseball field, we're giving it
Yes,
to the park.
yeah.
Okay, council to discuss and improve, doing improvements to the Dooley Park
Yeah.
in the amount of $2,500 for light poles and concession stands. Motion?
I'll make the motion.
Bass made a motion, second.
I'll second.
Prater second. All in favor?
Yeah, the city can spend money on park
Okay.
anytime.
Just make sure
Did you get that, Miss Pam?
Just make sure you get it worded right.
Did you get that? Okay.
Because eventually we're gonna put some stuff out there for kids to play on and
Right,
people can go
yes.
out to picnics.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna do number 15 and, no, number 14 is gonna be last.
Oh, 14.
Number 15 is the financial, council to discuss, consider, and possibly take action on approving financial reports for February of 2022 for the general and water fund account.
Motion approved.
Okay,
That'd be A, B,
A, B,
and that's it.
C, A and B,
Yes.
A and B.
They look like they were
Albert.
nice order.
What did you got? I don't know.
The second,
15.
okay, Wiggins seconded. All in favor? Unanimous, okay? For C, council to discuss, consider, and possibly approving the transfer, the $50,019.39 from the dividend account to the city
Okay.
general account. This will only leave the CRLF grant money to keep better track.
We've been working on that a long time, that one farm.
Yeah. Do I have a
Kinda
motion?
goes with D.
Yes, C and D go together.
Okay, D is council to discuss, consider, and probably change the name of the dividend account to grant fund, or a similar title that would identify the use of the bank account.
Well, I'll say that, I know I think Mr. Williams said something, you got something to say.
Yes, sir,
Like
Mr.
I said,
Williams?
we've been working on this a year, I would suggest that the 50,019 would be into the, put it into the city investment account. Okay?
General.
It's in the general, not the general check, but in the city investment, where it's making interest. You know, all making some interest, but that would be in the
Yeah.
investment account, it's listed
City
separately on the
investment
balance sheet.
account.
You know?
Okay.
No,
Yes, sir.
now what,
I read.
Ms. Marino was saying, that, she wants to put that in the city general account, in other words, the general checking account.
Yes.
That's what she wants to
But she
do.
can move it out and invest it into the regular checking if they need it. We got 183,000 in there. I think she was just talking about it into the general,
No, I
city
mean-
fund. I don't.
No, I asked her,
Yeah,
I
we
called
asked-
her and
yeah.
asked her,
Okay.
because it says from the dividend account to the city general
General
account.
account.
And I asked her what she meant by that, and she said the Moody general check,
Yeah, she wanted to put it in the general account.
in the checking account.
Maybe she needs
which-
to check, I don't know.
Well, it might, but it's not gonna draw any interest in the checking account, and that CRLF fund, that'll make $210,246.38.
It won't,
That will draw
And she
in.
wants to rename that,
The grant.
the grant fund.
Yeah.
and it won't draw any. We can't. It's against
No.
law.
No, you can too, she found it.
But,
What?
no, we're talking about the grant money.
Okay, she was told that we could not draw interest on grant money.
Yes.
But she came to me today before 5 o'clock and she said, we can. The grant money can draw interest. And I said, we've been having sat there without anything for a year.
No,
Just look how much we lost.
It didn't been that long, it didn't been too
I
long.
know, but that's just what I told her.
But
Can
that
we get
other
some
one-
information saying,
the other
We
one's
can talk
gone
with
back
her.
Many,
We-
many years.
Yeah, we can check with her tomorrow, but she says that she found out where it could. She
Yeah, I'd
checked
like-
with the grant money
I'd like
people.
to see the paperwork on that.
Yeah,
before
she
I
has
vote
it.
on
Yeah,
Okay, so she's saying that we can draw interest on the
yeah,
grant.
that's what she said.
Okay, still need to be said.
But yeah, y'all get to see it anyway.
It's okay.
Can we
Okay.
table that until we can see where it says that we can do that?
Well, it's not here saying that it's gonna draw money. She's just
We're
moving
saying
it.
that we can do
We're just
what?
we're just gonna take this money out of together and have the grant money by itself and have this money into the general account. It has nothing to do with the interest or anything.
Well, they're paying.
Yes, ma'am.
There's nothing, if she's not doing anything with the interest
Uh-uh.
tonight, she will put whatever,
Yeah.
she's gonna do about that on next agenda.
Next
Oh,
agenda.
okay, okay.
We're just voting on this to take that $50,019.39 from the dividend account to the city general account. Yes,
I'll make a
sir.
motion, I'll make a motion to transfer $50,019.39 from the dividend account to the city general account, the Moody,
Okay.
general checking account.
Okay,
And then in addition, to move the CRLF grant money, which is $210,246 and, $210,246.38. And we're gonna change the name of that to a, grant fund.
fund, yeah, grant fund, okay?
How would you put the CRLF grant fund?
Yeah, do I have a second?
Because there's already another grant account there, so
Right.
the CRLF grant.
Grant fund, yes.
Also,
I'll say-
Okay, Bass seconded. All in favor? Unanimous, okay?
Before you get to the next item, I want to remind y'all, we're doing our chlorine conversion starting the first of next month. So when y'all get that high chlorine smell in your water, Blue Bonnet's doing it, so we're doing it, and we can't control what they send us, we'll control ours. So you may have a high chlorine smell, but it'll only last for 30 days. It has to be done every year.
Okay, on number 14, councils to discuss, consider, and probably take action on adopting a city administrator's agreement We're going to take that into executive session. Meeting is over at 7:26. We'll adjourn after the executive session. Y'all going home on that one? Okay. There you go. That's your final. Thank you, sir, for showing up.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah, very nice meeting. Very nice. Okay, it is now 7:49 PM. This meeting is now in session. Okay, number 14, council to discuss, consider, and possibly take action on adopting a city administrator's agreement. Yes, Mr. Wiggins?
I'd like to make a motion that we amend the city administrator agreement as we spoke about in executive session.
A second.
Okay. Talbot. Okay, all in favor? Unanimous, okay? And do I have another motion?
I move we adjourn.
Second?
No,
Do we have a second? Okay, Bass seconds it. This meeting is now adjourned.
Glory be.
Woo-hoo!
10 to 8, wow.
We're getting better, people.
Yeah.
We're getting better. Hello?